Can I get you a drink?
I'd love an iced latte.
An iced latte, I can do that. Ooh, for you. Cheers.
Cheers, thank you.
That's good.
I know.
Matilda Rowe, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. This is actually my third coffee of the day, which I don't usually do.
Okay.
But it's necessary. It's
Might
necessary.
be some additional vibrato in the singing.
Oh yeah, and panic, I think, probably.
Vibrato and panic sounds great.
Yeah.
Out in the big bad world, you technically only have, what, 2 tracks?
One at the well, 2.
One with your brother,
but one of my
and
own,
one that literally only came out, what, a month ago?
Like a month ago, yeah.
Never do.
Yeah.
How does it feel to start releasing music?
It's pretty wild, to be honest. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely terrifying. And like I started off with the chillest one with Never Do.
Yeah.
The next one's like a lot braver and it's scary.
Yeah.
But that was the point. My original principle when none of this was even a concept was like, no fear, go. And now it's actually happening and it's like, oh, no, there's fear.
There is some fear.
There's fear.
There is some fear.
But it's great and I'm happy and I feel like this is all part of what needs to happen and it's taken a lot longer than I intended, but that's okay, you know?
Does it feel cathartic to release music?
Massively, actually, like the release of like releasing it is pretty crazy. Because it's just, you think about it for so long. I wrote most of these songs, like I wrote Never Do in 2022. I wrote Red Queen, which is coming out next in 2023. And it's like, this is so old. I've been sitting on these for so long. And then for 2 years, I was trying to make it with money breaks and everything just taking a lot of time. And you change so much. So it's just wild to release it now. But you have to kind of like, I'm trying to, every day I'm like, honor yourself at that time when she wrote it. And we release it now because it's part of the journey. And when you look back, it will be what it is, you know?
You have an album that is due to come out.
Yes.
Creases,
yes.
And that is coming out in October.
In October, yeah.
So talk about the sonic identity of it. Like, what's the overall sound? Or maybe there isn't an overall sound.
It's just so hard. Like, I'm writing the press at the moment, and it is so difficult. Like, even the distributors, they're like, here's a list of 8 genres. Which one is yours? And you're like, I don't know. I wanted to create something that is quite challenging of what we usually hear. So it's all live. There's no click track to like 90% of the songs.
Amazing.
It's all kind of like what was in the room at the time, which was a principal decision that made life way harder afterwards, but like, it's okay. And kind of like, I wrote it over 5 years, so kind of unintentionally. So like the song I wrote in 2019 was like, I wanted to write a jazz standard. Another one is like a really like dusty kind of folk punk song. Lots of storytelling in there and in like different forms. And I kind of wanted that to be the point. I wanted to release an album that is a body of work that is like, this is all that not all that I am, but like, I'm not one, like you cannot pigeonhole me, you know, like at the moment you put me in a box, the next song will like smash the box open.
That's so cool. Tonight you are doing a version with just you and Milo. Yeah. And how does that feel in comparison to when you perform with a bigger band?
That's the funnest part of it for me is like at my single launch, it was like there was a whole bunch of us and it was like, great. And I haven't had the chance to do that, and then you adjust accordingly. And then on my next single launch, we've got the fullest the band's ever been, which is so exciting. We've got like Mary on the clarinet, which will be really fun. And so
we're going full symphony orchestra at this point.
That will be the album release gonna be crazy.
Oh my god! The Royal Albert Hall.
Honestly, the goal. Please, I'm joking. I don't want to oversaturate. I want to still be in love with all of these songs, and I want to explore them. And that's the hard thing about putting them into recording is like, what form do I want this to exist in forever? You know, each time it's live, it's like you can explore and be like, oh, maybe I'll go down. This is what it sounds like in this setting, whatever. But with the recording, it's like the way people consume it in the moment is like that is what you've chosen to identify as you, and it's like I don't know if I'm up for that pressure right now.
Set it,
yeah. My career will be that, you know. When you look back, it's the same with life. It's like you know, you meet people where they're at, but you also acknowledge journey. And,
I mean, I think that's very much a metaphor for life.
Yeah. Oh my god, completely.
And
that's why it's called creases. It's like the kind of the creases that you try and iron out and you try and like push away, and they just come back because they're you, and and that's okay. And maybe it's kind of, that's why it's quite a coming of age album, I think, you know.
It's very poetic, Matilda.
Thank you. I'm a songwriter, what can I say?
When you think about your listeners, what would you like them to feel when they listen to your music?
I think seen. I think like the goal of what I do is like radical honesty, I feel, and I've heard that phrase quite a lot, and I think that that's kind of what I identify with the most. I've found my understanding of what it means to be a woman through like Fiona Apple, through Laura Marling, through Amy Winehouse, and like these actual like radical songwriters who, like Amy Winehouse, like no one in pop was writing about women like that. There's this like contradiction that I like love so much, and I think I started writing probably like to kind of rationalize like my own sense of self and like what the contradictions that I felt, and I hope that my music can give people to that the more they kind of invest into it, and also to write as well. I want young women to write, like I want that so badly.
This evening, a young woman comes up to you and says, I'm inspired by your work.
Oh my God.
I want to start writing. What would be the first piece of advice that you would give them?
Write whatever. It doesn't have to make sense now, but as long as it's true to you and you don't think about what anyone else thinks about it, even if you leave it and don't touch it for 3 years, you come back, you're like, oh, I knew, or like I was aware, or, you know, there's like, it's the most special thing. Everyone has like something to say, you know, and it doesn't have to be anything at all. Yeah. But it will like help you, and if not, help other people. That's what I say.
I am so excited
Me too.
to hear everything. I mean, I've heard some of your stuff, and I'm just excited to hear it again in a different form.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to hear the album as well. It's gonna be wild.
Don't even. Let's go and get you sound checked.
Yes.
Make sure it all sounds beautiful.
I know.
And we'll do it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
Cheers again.
Cheers. Let's do it.